Hi. Hi, I'm Dezzi Pixels and I help artists find clients and build businesses online. Today we're going to do something a little bit different and we're going to switch up the topic. This week we were supposed to be talking about color palettes and color psychology, but we will be pushing that video till next week to talk about something that's raised its ugly head today, which is mental anxiety and just being exhausted doing what you need to as an artist. So, today we will talk about what anxiety artists face, good ways to help, and when you just need to take a break to recharge your mental batteries. So, let's get started. Now, one of the main reasons I wanted to change the topic this week to that is, especially right now for me, I have a lot of projects that I'm trying to do outside of my channel. As some of you know, I still work as a freelance illustrator while I'm not doing this, on top of helping people build their brands, businesses, and just giving general teaching advice. Well, one of the things that tends to happen after you do this for a while, you start to get fairly busy. So you start looking at your week that might have once had only one or two things on it, and now you find that there is a substantial thing for you to do every week. In the beginning, this is super awesome, especially if you're used to not being that busy before, if you're used to not producing as much work as you normally do. Bumping up that productivity is a really great time, and I know how it can just feel so rewarding that you just want to put all your free time into the productive things that you're doing. The problem that happens is you get addicted to the work. You put in day after day after day until it becomes a habit, which is good because you start to do your work without really thinking about it. The problem, though, is what happens when the burnout or just the fatigue starts to set in. Your body's used to doing this as a habit, so when you wake up every day, you have this drive to be productive. But your body is like, bitch, I'm tired. You've been going hard for a month. I need you to take a break. Except if you're anything like me and probably most of the other artists out there, you don't know how to take breaks right. You've heard ever since you've been in school that you need to constantly be working every day to be productive. If you waste a day playing video games, hanging on Facebook, or just chatting with friends, that's a day that you could have been working towards your artistic goal or just your career goals. What happens with this after a while is that pressure builds up and you run yourself ragged to the point that you fall into depression, burnout. You don't know how to go through your day without mountains of anxiety. And that is hard, and you don't know how to fix that. It's like, I want to make all these things. I need to do all this work, but my body is physically not letting me. This might sound familiar to you, where you can't focus that long on anything. Just the thought of doing something productive that you want to do just physically makes you want to cry. Like, you know you need to do it, but it's like, I need to work on this project. I need to get it to this client. If they don't see it, if I don't get it to them, they're gonna hate me, and then they're not gonna ever hire me again, and they're gonna tell everybody, and then that voice inside your head just ramps up and up and up until you're just paralyzed with any sort of indecision or any sort of wanting to be productive that you end up not doing anything for months. That happens to me a lot. And I have found in looking at the cycles of myself that I tend to go through that a lot. I'll go through cycles of intense productivity where I am doing multiple things a day, paintings, videos, my marketing, my planning for other things. You get so wrapped up into it and you get so addicted to the feeling of being productive and good like society tells you to do, that when you take a second to recharge your batteries, you feel like you're effing up. Well, what ways do we have to be able to remedy this, or at least help a little bit? First, you need to learn how to take breaks. And when I say take breaks, I don't mean a break to go do something else that requires you to exert mental energy. You need to take time to do self-care, which is doing things that are good for you instead of just soothing yourself so you can cope with what's going on. This means you need to take the time to actually rest, to let your brain rest. Watch something that you have to exert no effort into thinking about. Go for a walk, chill outside, actually rest. Don't do what I do, because I am very guilty of this, where I do productive rest. You know, like they say, hey, if you procrastinate by doing something else productive, then you're always getting something done. Well, if you're procrastinating by doing something else productive, you're still not resting. You're still exerting energy, just in a different spot. And to yourself, you're tricking yourself to be like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Why am I still tired? Well, instead of working on the one project you had to go work on, you went to go play the RPG where you had to think about the build for your character and do all the research to... Is this just me? Am I telling on myself? My bad. But you need to actually be conscious of how you're spending your energy. Another good way to help regain some of your mental clarity, your mental gas, is really get into meditating. Now, I say this, but I am terrible at getting myself to actually sit down and meditate. But the thing is, every time that I do, I just feel so much better. My brain just feels so much clearer, more focused, and it just feels like it's exerting less energy to exist. What meditation just really helps you with, think about your brain as a computer. And meditating is opening the task manager on your computer and clearing out all those background processes that's been open over the course of your day or your week if you haven't cleaned it out before. All those different thoughts and feelings that you have swirling around in your head takes energy to maintain. Meditation helps quiet those thoughts so you can more so focus on what you're doing and just be more present and just live more in the moment. Another good way to combat burnout and just anxiety, all of that in general, is to take the time to chill with your friends. This is another one I'm terrible about, and any of my friends that watch this video, I'm sure are either rolling their eyes or laughing right now, because I terrible at taking time to actually regroup with my friends and to actually chill out with them. I developed this ever since I've been in art school, where anytime I would hang with my friends, there was always just a voice in the back of my head saying, you should be working on this project. You should be getting this thing done. If you ever want to get hired to be in a studio somewhere, you need to be devoting 24 hours a day to cranking out amazing work. You're not doing that. You're out here having fun. And since you're out here having fun, you're gonna end up with no job and be homeless when you're older. Now, is this crazy? Yes, I am the first person to tell you that that is an irrational thought and it's just your brain spitballing crap. But it doesn't feel like that in the moment. It feels like you're not succeeding when you're not doing what's productive. No. Sit down, chill, hang with your friends and actually hang with them. Engage in their life, have other interests and hobbies outside of art that you don't have to vent so much mental anxiety and energy towards. And then when you do that, you won't have to have times like this where you have to pause a whole video that you already had written out just because you couldn't bear to look at anymore, and instead talk about fighting anxiety as an artist. Thank you again for coming and watching me talk about what's going on in my life, talk about battling anxiety. I hope what I talked about can help you out some with the hardships that go on with you creating your art. Next week, we're going to get back to our scheduled program. We're going to talk about, I'm sweating. color psychology, and how it's used in marketing. So again, thank you so much for checking me out today. Subscribe, hit the bell, do all the stuff that people tell you to do so you can catch next week when we talk about something a little bit more tangible and become even more awesome. I don't know. I'm just saying words at this point. Anyways, this has been your girl, the overworked and tired Dezzi Pixels, and I'm out, bitches. Have a good one. I'll see y'all next week. Bye!